Hello. We have a parable today. Haven't had one in a little bit. We're starting in John chapter 10. I tell you the truth. The man who does not enter the sheep pen by the gate, but climbs in by some other way, is a thief and a robber. The man who enters by the gate is the shepherd of his sheep. The watchman opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out all his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. But they will never follow a stranger. In fact, they will run away from him because they do not recognize a stranger's voice. Jesus says that we must recognize him because he recognizes us. Jesus is saying that he is the only way to actually be holy. There's many methods you can try, but they're all fake. To not follow Jesus is to not be a good person, and you can't trick Jesus. He knows more about you than you know yourself. But a fun fact in the analogy, it would be possible that sheep would actually recognize their shepherd's voice. I found a story about how in World War I, some soldiers were stealing a flock of sheep from an Israeli shepherd. The shepherd couldn't outmatch a bunch of soldiers, but when the shepherd started calling the sheep, they returned to the shepherd. If you don't actually know Jesus, then you won't know what he is actually calling you to do. People get delusions of what God wants of them, but they're not actually being swayed by him. They're being swayed by either themselves or a more evil force. Those are the thieves and robbers. And even if you know Jesus, circumstances could persuade you to wander. We are a lot like sheep, not very smart. I see many Christians follow the robbers and thieves out of the pen, so don't do that. But Jesus has to repeat himself to the crowd. Jesus used this figure of speech, but they did not understand what he was telling them. Therefore Jesus said again, I tell you the truth. I am the gate for the sheep. All who ever came before me were thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. He will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life, and have it to the full. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The hired hand is not the shepherd who owns the sheep. So when he sees the wolf coming, he abandons the sheep and runs away. Then the wolf attacks the flock and scatters it. The man runs away because he is a hired hand and cares nothing for the sheep. Jesus is obviously using this analogy for the Pharisees. He was telling the crowd to not listen to them. They are like a hired hand, as in it's just a job to them. But Jesus actually loves the people. He will give his life literally to protect us. Government officials, pastors, managers, even family members do not love you like Jesus does. They can replicate it because that is our job as Christians, but no one will ever come close to Jesus. I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me, just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that are not of this sheep pen. I must bring them also. They too will listen to my voice, and there shall be one flock and one shepherd. The reason my Father loves me is that I lay down my life, only to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down and authority to take it up again. This command I received from my Father. The metaphor is cool. First of all, because he says that he will bring the Gentiles into his flock, and so the whole world will be his people. And also because Jesus is a sheep just like us, but he is the only sheep that needed to be sacrificed. Therefore, he is the lamb, capitalized. Of course, metaphors can be confusing because Jesus is apparently the shepherd and a sheep, but I think that just speaks to the fact that he is all we need. He is both our friend and our leader. At these words the Jews were again divided. Many of them said, He is demon-possessed and raving mad. Why listen to him? But others said, These are not the sayings of a man possessed by a demon. Can a demon open the eyes of the blind? Again, there was division, and nothing has changed today. Rational conclusions might not be rational at all, since people tend to define their own version of rational. The wise man knows that he has much to learn. So remember that you're not always going to know what's right. However, those who do follow Jesus will walk in wisdom more than anyone. Thanks, guys.